Hi guys, and welcome to your collective tarot love messages. This is going to be a collective message, therefore it's not specifically intended for any sign, but if you have clicked on this reading, there's obviously something here that's led you to this particular reading. You've been guided here, you've been led here, you've been pulled or drawn to hear the messages contained within the video. It is going to be a general reading, guys, so please just keep that in mind. And also there is going to be an extended to this reading, and in the extended reading we're just going to explore the messages in more depth and more detail. In today's reading we are going to focus on a certain energy that may have pulled away from you. Okay, if things have ended between you and a connecting energy, or if you can feel someone is pulling away, if they're slowly distancing themselves emotionally or physically, or if this is someone whom you have separated with or you have disconnected with this individual, whether it is a temporary separation or whether it's a permanent breakup, we want to go ahead and explore perhaps the reason behind the disconnection or the separation, or what messages the universe, the tarot guides have for you regarding this certain person, their energy and the connection. And in part 2 of the reading we'll continue on with those messages and possibly explore the messages in more depth and more detail. The extended reading will be made available to you guys via the extension link below. For those after a personal reading with myself, feel free to reach out. My email will be listed below the video. I want you to take a moment and pause the video if need be, and I just want you to focus on your person and really try and channel their energy. Okay, we want to see what is the reason behind this separation or this disconnection, and will the two of you reunite? Will you be able to revisit the connection, reconnect, and perhaps restore a balance or a sense of equilibrium? This is someone whom you have a very strong connection with, and I feel like this is someone whom you have a very unique connection with. And I think that both energies involved here, both yourself and your person, are really able to I feel like you're both really able to recognize that there is something very different about, they're able to recognize there is something very different about you and very different about this connection. And you're also able to recognize there's something very different about this person and about the connection that you share with them. If there is a separation or a disconnection, okay, so regardless whether you guys have broken up or you've separated, or whether you guys at an emotional distance from one another, there's still very much a thread that ties the two of you together, okay? And it's quite an emotional thread. I think that the two of you are still linked, and I think energetically you're also still very much tied together. And just because you guys have put an end to things, or just because this person is distancing themselves away from you, it doesn't necessarily mean that their feelings for you have dissolved. Because if anything, I feel like this person still has feelings for them, and I think the same is true in your case. I think you still have some very strong feelings for this person. It's not like you're able to, switch those emotions off. After all, they're feelings and you need to feel them. This is someone whom I feel like you guys were really committed to each other. You were really committed to growing this connection. And for some of you, this could be someone that, you saw yourself marrying this person, or this person saw themselves marrying you. And it's almost like even upon your first meeting with each other, this person sort of just, looked up at you and they thought you're the one, or, you're the one that they could possibly see themselves ending up with and settling down with, especially with the Ten of Cups energy. This is someone who, you know, they read about fairy tales and they had their idea of a storybook romance, and then all of a sudden they had that with you, okay? And it was like the connection that they shared and had with you reflected one of their favorite storybook romances. And at some point, I can see that this person thought, you know, it was just too good to be true. It was almost like unreal, like something out of a film, a movie, a storybook, fairy tale. This person was almost like in disbelief. It's like they had this, pinch me moment, I'm dreaming kind of energy. So what happened? What happened? The cards seem to indicate that it's funny because there may be a separation, but the cards seem to indicate that energetically and emotionally, you guys are still very much connected. Queen of Cups, this is someone whom the person that you're dealing with, or the person that I'm talking to right now, is a very sensitive energy. This person is a very sensitive soul. They're an empath. They're someone who's really able to pick up on, other people's energy. They're really able to absorb other people's energy. So this could be you, or it could be your person. Maybe you've already felt them pulling away before they actually pulled away. Maybe you felt the shift in energies, or you are feeling the shift in energies. And it's hard because for some of you, you feel like all you can do is stand and watch when, your person might be going through something, and they know that, what the two of you have is very special and it's very rare, and it's so unique. In fact, it's so rare that, even the universe couldn't keep you apart. But yet, I feel like it's not that they're having trouble recognizing it. I don't think so. I think there was like this instant connection and this instant attraction. And yes, that built and that grew over time. But I think your person is struggling with, I think they're struggling with managing and processing these emotions. They are. And I think it's all a little bit overwhelming and it's all a little bit intense. I also think that, the reason why there was a separation or a disconnection, it's like the universe, to me, it feels like it's kind of the universe pulled the both of you apart from each other. Okay, because I feel like, and I feel like why the universe did that is because the both of you I feel like you still have a lot of work to do on yourselves before you can come together and, have this Ten of Cups fairy tale scene. I also think there's something here that sort of, it's an energy that I think kind of scared your person away, okay? And your person wanted this happily ever after, and they wanted it with you. They wanted to, they want to settle down. They want a commitment. They want a traditional relationship. There could be someone who practices, cultural or religious traditions, or is from a very different cultural or religious background to you. But it feels like this person really wanted to commit to building, building a life with you, building a home with you. Growing and sharing a family with you. This is someone who wanted to share their world with you. And, they wanted all of these things and they wanted it with you. And when suddenly it started to look like it's becoming more and more likely, that kind of became a little bit overwhelming, and it kind of became a little bit intense, and it kind of became a little bit much for you, okay? But I think that you were able to cope with it a little bit more better, but it became a bit too much for your person. It's interesting, why would someone who wants all of these things, become suddenly overwhelmed by it, okay? And it's not that this person thought they wanted those things. They really do, but I don't know that your person was really ready for this, okay? I don't know that your person was really ready to settle down, and they weren't necessarily ready for a commitment. They wanted it, but, sometimes people, they want something and it sounds good in theory, and then, like I said, everything was like you had all of the traits and you had all of the qualities that they admire within the partner. And when everything started to check out, when everything was becoming, when it started to seem more and more that, hey, this is the fairy tale romance that they've wanted, and you are a very compatible partner, and you guys were just getting on. Things were great, right? And that's the other thing. Notice how this person pulled away, even though things were going so great. It's because of that energy. It's because it scared them, because they saw where this was going. They saw that this has so much growth and so much potential. And they also saw that, you know, they saw themselves settling down with you. And it all became like, it started to, that vision started to go, like, get bigger and bigger. And it all became a little bit intense, because what they thought, you know, was out of their reach, all of a sudden was served up to them on a platter. And that scared them, because even though they want these things, you know, they weren't just ready for it. And I think that the universe pulled, you know, the universe pulled the both of you apart, because individually you both need to do some work on yourselves. Okay, I do see that it's likely that the two of you are going to connect together, because there's still an element to the energies that seem to indicate you guys are still somewhat energetically connected. And if you're still connected, maybe not necessarily in the 3D, but if you're still connected to each other, I feel like this is going to lead to an opportunity where the both of you can possibly communicate or see each other in person, to maybe try and, you know, talk things out. Because I feel like there is still, you know, the both of you still care about each other deeply, and there is still those visions. So those visions, those intentions that they had for you, and those intentions that you had for them, okay, they may have, you know, suddenly grew a little bit more distant, but they're still there. They're still out there in the, you know, in the vibration. This person hasn't necessarily shelved those visions away. This person still thinks about you. They think about the life that they could have had with you, and they still think about, you know, the life that they could potentially have with you. So there is still this, to me, it just feels like you guys are not, like you're out of alignment with each other right now. You're not necessarily in sync with one another. You guys are, you know, misaligned. There's a bit of a lack of balance. Something here has disrupted the flow of this connection, but there is a potential for the two of you to come back together. There is a potential for the two of you to, you know, to reconnect and to revisit this connection, and possibly even restore the connection. But this time around, I think a reconnection or reconciliation, or part two of this, you know, storybook romance would be even stronger, because, you know, by then you guys would have worked on each other. By then you guys would have done some inner work or some shadow work, or even come to the realization that, you know, you guys can't necessarily be without one another. You guys can't be apart. And, you know, it'll come to you or them, or perhaps both of you will come to the realization that you indeed do love each other, and, you know, you want to commit to making this work, and you want to work through things. I'm just going to pull out a few more cards. But this person very much, they find you very attractive, okay? And this person is still very much, it's like they think about you. They think about you a lot, okay? This person thinks about you. I'm seeing that they have, it's like they've got, they look back at a lot of your photos. So you guys might have taken a lot of photos together. But it feels like this person is rereading your messages to them, or they look back at, they might not be communicating, but there is, yeah, look at that. You're definitely dominating their mental energy, their mind space. They look back through your photos, any photos that you sent or shared with them or took with them, any messages that you texted to them, like this person is rereading them, okay? So even if they're not necessarily reaching out or connecting with you, this person, you are very much on their mind. Okay, yeah, look, there's a lot of pain. There's a lot of pain in the energies here, and I think, you know, the separation or the disconnection has caused you, or is causing you and your person, a lot of pain. But I also feel like there's a lot of pain in the individual energies, and perhaps the both of you kind of triggered each other, and there may have been some unresolved emotional pain, or some unresolved trauma that might have surfaced, you know, bubbled up to the surface, and now needs, it needs attention, it needs addressing. So yeah, a lot of pain, a lot of emotional anguish, a lot of, you know, this really uncomfortable energy, this almost like anger, hurt, resentment. It's a bitter kind of energy. The fact that you guys have come apart, the fact that, all of the intentions and all of the dreams and the visions you had for each other, for this connection, have slowly dissipated here. So a lot of hurt, a lot of tears being shared, a lot of words that were spoken that I don't think were meant, and I think they were only said in the heat of the moment. And words that I feel like sounded very angry and bitter, but underneath that energy of anger and bitterness, there's a lot of hurt there. So whether it's come from you or it's come from them, it's definitely an energy of hurt. If if this is someone who's pulled away, and if they're not communicating, you are very much on their mind. But I feel like every time you guys talk, I just feel like every time you guys talk, it's like you find a way to hurt each other with the words you say. Okay. And I don't know if it's fueled by an energy of anger or jealousy, or some unresolved emotional wounds, or some unresolved issues between the both of you from the past that weren't necessarily addressed properly. I don't know what exactly is fueling this energy, but it's like you don't mean to, but you somehow end up hurting each other with the words that you say. You somehow end up hurting the relationship, even though I think that yours or theirs intentions are well placed. You guys somehow end up, you come back together and you guys talk and things are great for a moment, and then you guys pull apart again. Okay, because someone says something that hurts the other person, or someone says something that just causes a bit of tension. So no contact, no communication, but you're very much on their mind. I feel like this person hurt you because they were hurting, and I think that them hurting you has only backfired on them, honestly, because I think that this person, they may have been jealous of you. Okay, they may have been, maybe they feel like you're someone who gets a lot of attention, you have a lot of admirers, and this person feels like they want you and only you, and they feel like everyone else like around you feels the same way as they do, and they feel really, they feel very protective of you. They feel very almost possessive of you, and it's like a jealous kind of energy. And I think something here has put them in a position where they're jealous or they're hurt, and I think this person may be a little bit emotionally infantile, and therefore they felt like they wanted to hurt you. They wanted to get back at you. So they might have done this by, ghosting you, by silencing, by going silent, or by distancing, by pulling themselves away from you. This is what I mean when this person needs to, needs a little bit growing up to do, or they need a little bit of inner work, some shadow work, because I think this person doesn't really know how to maturely handle their emotions. They either like shut down completely, or if they're hurt and they try to, it's like tit for tat, they try to get back at you. Okay, so because this person, I feel like this person is very hurt, and they decided to get back at you by hurting you, but now all of that has backfired on them, because they're the ones without you, and they're the ones that have created this tension, this separation, this connection in this relationship, and that's just not the way it was supposed to go. Look, you're very much on their mind. I wouldn't be surprised if this person will reach out and communicate to you not too long after this reading. Okay, maybe this person has just already communicated with you guys. For some of you, there may be contact or communication that comes in. It could be in a matter of hours, days, or maybe even weeks. From this reading, I feel like there'll be contact communication soon, because I don't know, you're on their mind, and I think they're trying to hold back. I honestly feel like this person is trying to hold back and not communicate, more of that immature energy. And I don't know if it's also a way of them trying to protect you or protect themselves, because they feel like, when you guys do get together, you only end up hurting each other. But I do see contact communication. I do see you're very much on their mind. I also feel like this, you might share a psychic connection with this person. I see that this person is talking to their family and their friends about you, so your name is very much on their lips. You're very much on their mind. They're able to feel your energy, and I think you're able to feel their energy as well, like pulling on yours. This person is very hurt. I see them crying. I see them being, really upset about what's happened here, or what's happening between the both of you. I think there's something here that I feel like your person carries a lot of pain, okay, a lot of hurt, a lot of emotional wounds, and I think there's a lot of healing that needs to take place. And I think you've provided very much a healing quality for them. You're very much a healing energy, and without you, they feel like they can't really heal, or they can't really do, you know, the emotional cleansing and the purging and the healing and all of that. It's like they need you there, but they're way too proud to ever say it though. So I do see that this person is trying to stay connected to you, and it's like they'll try to reread your messages or look back at the photos, or even like you know, do a little bit of cyber stalking. You might still be connected on social media, so this person, you know, watches your stories, watches what you post, and it's their way of trying to stay connected. I do see contact and I do see communication, and expect that soon. But I do think the very reason, I think healing needs to take place. I think that your person has been hurt way before you cross paths with them, and I think that they've never, you know, they've never healed this hurt, they've never healed this pain. There could still be lingering emotions from, you know, a previous relationship, lingering emotions of hurt, anger, and bitterness. Maybe this person is someone who's experienced a lot of abandonment growing up, and the fact that, you know, this has now come to an end, or you guys have separated, this is just sort of resurfacing and, you know, triggering this person back up. It's resurfacing all of those emotions, intense emotions of abandonment. So I feel like they're going through a lot of things, but I feel like, you know, they won't show it. Okay, they're way too proud to show it, and they don't want you to know. They want you to think that they're doing good without you, but that is a lie. Okay, and I think it's like I feel like the both of you are sort of playing this game where you both want each other to think that you're doing well with each other, but I think that the both of you are struggling. The both of you still very much care for each other, and you miss each other, and you still love each other. I think, yeah, I think those feelings are so strong and they've not gone away. I feel like this person is trying to distract themselves by by hanging out with their friends a lot, by partying, or even by drinking. But I think it's just their way of trying to keep themselves distracted. Okay, because they don't want to be alone with their thoughts, because that's when things get really difficult for them. I'm going to leave it at that, and in part 2 of the reading we'll explore we'll explore more about this contact or communication, and also, you know, what the future holds. Okay, will there be a reconnection? Will there be a reconciliation for you and this person? If so, you know, how to go about it, because there's a lot of hurt and pain. You guys don't want to reconnect and go back to, you know, what you had, because what you had fallen apart, right? So you guys want to do things a little bit differently. We'll go ahead and explore that and see what the cards say for you. Thank you guys for watching and listening. Follow me to part 2 via the extension link below. Please show your support if you haven't already by liking, sharing, and subscribing to this channel. Bye.